Sounds good.
Hello, this is John Ryan, and with me is Aaron Hamm, one of the candidates for the open board of directors seats. Aaron, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
All right. So I got a series of questions that I'm going through with everybody. Um, However, since I know you a little bit better, I am going to let kind of make it clear that I know you um, from different handball matches and stuff. And I want to see if you remember the very first time that we interacted. See if you remember that.
I think it probably would have been at West Point my freshman year. I don't know if we would have interacted. Actually, no, we probably would have. It would have been West Point my freshman year. That would have been 2018 College Nationals.
That would be correct. And I guess you don't remember what I said to you, but
What did you
um, I,
say?
I'd seen you play a couple times. I complimented your game, and I asked you what grade you were in, and you told me you were a freshman, and I said, "Damn, all right." You know, I told you you had a future in handball. Um, I like to think that I'm like a crack talent
You're a
scout for
talent scout.
handball, but you were one of our top prospects of this century from college handball. I think there's another athlete now who's eclipsed you in terms of potential, but
You
that
there?
would be Gary Phillips of West Point. I'm very impressed with him as a player. That's good company, by the way. um, but let's get back on track. All right. First question. Tell me about your handball related background.
Yeah, no worries. So I guess I had no idea what handball was whenever I started my freshman year at UNC. Uh, Went out to the first practice because I was just kind of looking for something to do and kind of just fell in love with it. I think it brought all the aspects of sports that I loved growing up, and I don't know, it felt like it was made for me. And also just met so many of my best friends, the guys I definitely will have at my wedding and still hang out with. Just hang out with a couple of them 2 days ago. Um, but yeah, all that aside, I kind of handball to me has just been an immense blessing, and I kind of just want to ensure that other people get to experience that.
Um, so you did play at UNC. What else have you done handball related wise?
Yeah, so I played for with UNC for all 4 years, and then I guess my senior year was kind of the COVID year. I played with the national team for a few years, and now I'm the coach for the UNC college team as well. Still,
All right.
I've been
Um,
coaching them for about 4 years now.
Great. Now, after that handball introduction, can you tell us a little bit about your non-related handball background and how it might facilitate you being a good board member?
Okay, yeah. Um, Currently, I'm a dental student still at UNC. Feels like it's in Chapel Hill for half my life at this point. Um, but yeah, learned a lot of good like leadership and kind of team building and that sort of thing through my dental school. And I think there's politics involved with anything, as I'm sure you're aware. Politics involved with even something like Carolina team handball. But kind of learning how to play that to ensure that everybody gets what they want. I think that would be something I can bring to the board.
And just leading into that, why do you want to be a board member?
Spoke on it earlier. I think just like handball for me has been the best decision that I ever made. And handball's kind of at a crossroads, whether we like it or not. Like it's there's 1,000 or so pretty small group that play it and really are involved. And even outside the U.S., basketball's getting super popular in Europe. So like 2028 is really crucial for like the long-term success of the sport um, outside of the U.S. And having a strong foundation going into those games going to be crucial for where we're going, um, kind of for the long-term success of the sport. And I just want to make sure people have the same sort of experiences that I was able to have, meet friends, get to travel to fun places. I got to go to Kosovo playing handball. Like when would I ever have gone to Kosovo? It's just little things like that that I kind of want to hopefully be able to pass the torch.
All right. Now I'm going to touch on a couple issues. Send them out to you ahead of time, and we can go into other issues or key concerns that you might have. But first off, I'd like your thoughts regarding what happened with the board of directors this past summer and how it might inform your role on the board and the decisions it makes.
To be honest, John, I haven't heard a ton of even what really happened. Aside from what you've been writing on it, I think it's definitely just kind of a murky situation. And I'm going to try and not get too involved in it if I don't have to. Uh, my biggest reason for getting involved is to help the people that would kind of be voting me in, the athletes that are playing. So that's going to be my objective, not really worrying about the messy nastiness that's going on or could have been going on.
Okay. Um, what are your thoughts regarding what historically has been a big decision for the board? How much resources should be applied towards national teams, and how much should be applied towards development?
Yeah, I think it should kind of. I think development should have way more than they currently have, and potentially even more than the national team has. That, after all, is how we're building our national team, or how we should be building our national team. Um, this is not to say anything bad about how our current pool is, but I mean, it's not the most sustainable, not the most sustainable model. Having some sort of true growth that we're getting here from the U.S. with younger age kids, be it starting in middle school, elementary school if we can, but definitely in colleges and that sort of thing is how we're going to continue to keep the sport alive here in the U.S.
Um, and I guess you said you've been on national teams, you've been on development teams, so you do have a taste of both of those, I guess.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have had either experience without money in both of them, but I certainly wouldn't have had a chance to go to the national team at all had I not started at Carolina. So that's where it has to start. That's where we have to invest in the more grassroots. And again, maybe that I think ideally that takes place in middle school or earlier, but right now it's the college programs, getting more colleges, ensuring that we have plenty of tournaments that people and these college kids can travel to, is going to be the biggest thing.
Well, now I'm going to open the floor. If there are like any topical areas that you have a passion for that you want to bring forward and highlight.
I hope it has come through so far, but I'm the biggest proponent for the college game, and I hope to be that on the board. It's going to be crucial. The success or failure of handball in the U.S. is going to hinge on the college game. I think uh, if we're able to see it continue to grow as it has, I think in the last, I mean, honestly, since COVID, um, if we're able to see that growth continue, I think that the sport has a really bright future. But if we kind of just let it slip a little bit, no one's going to really care about it. No one graduating from college, if we don't have people graduating from college and joining some of these club teams or at least being fans of the sport, then no one's going to care about handball aside from me and you. And two guys talking on a Zoom call on a Friday night doesn't grow the sport. We got to have a lot of other guys involved.
That's fair. Um, and of course, I'm a big proponent of college handball, so um, something I won't disagree with. Um, any other issues, concerns that you'd like to highlight?
I think we got it covered. I encourage people to read my excerpt that I sent in. with it because I think that touches on a lot more of this and hopefully gets across some of my passions for why as well, why I want to kind of pursue this position.
Well, that's great. I appreciate you taking some time to join me and talk a little bit about yourself, get voters an opportunity to learn more about you and uh, how you might uh, how you might function as a board member.
Yes, sir. I thank you for the opportunity.
All right, for Aaron Hamm, this is John Ryan, and thanks for listening.